Hi, folks. Let's take a look at my electricity bill and see if I saved any money at all over the last couple months. Now, for this video, I'm only looking at electricity usage. Later on, maybe I'll do water and fuel oil and such. But for this video, we're just looking at my electric bill, what kind of electricity I used. So I'm going to switch this over so that you can see my computer. Okay, this is a weekly report that my electric company sends to me so that I can see how much energy I used over the week and how it compared to the final week or to the previous week. So last week I used 24.05 kilowatt hours, and that cost me $10.77 for the week. Now, my projected costs are $44.33, but I still had 26 days left in the billing cycle when I got this report. So that means that I can actually go through the house and figure out if there's something else I can do to lower my energy usage during that 26 days. But you see that my energy usage actually decreased 1.94 kilowatt hours last week, and it saved me 47 cents for the week compared to the previous week. And the chart shows that 47 cents doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it's money that I'm keeping in my pocket. Man's not getting it. And so I'm cool with that. You know, the more 47 cents I can put in my pocket and keep it there, the better. And over the entire year, it adds up to a little bit. I might be able to pay another bill with the difference. So that's what we're looking at. Now, if I close this out, I can show you that my usage, most of my energy usage was from 12 to 4 p.m. And that's not surprising because I eat one meal a day. That's the time period, 12 to 4 p.m. that I eat. And I'm in the kitchen cooking and opening the refrigerator and using the mixer and plugging things in so that I can eat. So that's probably what caused the jump, but overall I'm pretty steady with my usage through the entire day, you can see. And so that wasn't a surprise. Now, I don't have on peak and off peak usage rates, so no matter when I use energy, it still costs me the same per kilowatt hour. Now, my sister lives in a state where she has on-peak, off-peak usage. That's what she's chosen. And she is able to kind of change her schedule through the day in order to use the most energy during off-peak, and that saves her money. But after looking at my bill and making some adjustments, this was what worked for me, was having the rate straight across the board. So this is comparing April of 2025 to April of 2026. And April of 2025, you know, I'm pretty frugal, but I kind of accepted my electricity bill for what it was, and really never bothered to look around and see if I could make any changes. And you see, I had some pretty big spikes in April of 2025, and I know, or at least I think I know, what caused those spikes. But the orange you see is pretty straight across the board, and the ones that are super low, like right here, I was actually farm sitting during that time period. So that is energy usage that's just keeping my house running pretty much. So it looks pretty good compared to last year. Now I'm going to switch because I want to talk about what actually worked, you know, what I think is working, because it is working. It's, it might be 47 cents from the week before, but the week before saved money from the week before that. So it's adding up a little bit. And so what I think is working, number one, is I stopped using my dryer. That thing is an energy vampire. The when I came back, I used my dryer and then I checked my usage, and my usage jumped to 12 kilowatt hours that day. And I knew that the only thing that I did different was use the dryer and the washing machine. So I stopped using the dryer and I went to a drying rack um, in the house, and I can put almost the entire load of laundry on the drying rack, and then I put the shirts and pants on hangers and would hang them up in the bathroom. But now that it's warm, now hopefully spring is here to stay. But I have the clothesline up, and I love the clothesline. So it's great. Solar energy, you take them outside, it's free to dry them, and they smell so wonderful when they come back in. So as long as I can, I'm going to be hanging them outside. And then when it gets cold again, it'll be back inside. And I'll only use the dryer if I absolutely have to use the dryer. The other thing, number two, was I stopped using a coffee maker. I know that was a weird one, but my coffee maker had stopped working before I left for the winter. And when I came back, I thought, I'm just going to use my French press because I use that when I'm traveling on trips. And I had that available. And I thought, I'm just going to use that until I get ready to go shopping for another coffee maker. And then it got to the point where I realized, this is totally fine. Why am I not just using this? And so I still haven't bought another coffee maker. I don't know if I will or not. It's a few more steps using the French press, but it's less energy used. I just heat up water, boil water, and then pour it into the French press, and I'm done. I pour my first cup, and then the rest of it goes in a thermos to stay warm for the rest of the morning. And so I'm planning on just keeping it that way for the time being, and save some money that way. But the teapot that I used on the stove, I don't know how many kilowatt hours it used, but my dear friend gave me an electric teapot, and I've been using that instead of turning on the stove. Now, I don't know if it's an energy savings, but the electric teapot actually boils water much, much faster. And the nice thing is I can plug it into my solar generator. And so if I remember to do that, it doesn't cost me anything to heat it up. Now, when you look at the usage on the generator, it uses a lot of energy. But again, it doesn't cost me anything to collect those sunbeams and load them up into the generator. So that is a win. The other thing that I do is I charge the phone and the laptop on my solar generator that I just talked about. And I'll show you, I've got my laptop plugged in right now. And there is my solar generator right there. And the laptop is plugged into it. So you can see the usage on the side, how much it's taking to charge that one. But again, free sunbeams. So it doesn't cost me anything to charge this laptop. And I end up charging maybe once a day. Same with my phone. I plug in my phone into the solar generator, and sometimes I forget. I put it in the outlet, but for the most part, my behaviors have changed, and I remember to plug it into the generator. So that's good. Those are free as well. I also made a point of going through the house and unplugging unnecessary items or seldom used items so that they weren't trickling energy. And one of the things that I did turn off and unplug was my printer. I have a Wi-Fi capable printer, and I kept it on. And when I was doing my taxes, I kept it on because I was scanning and printing a lot. But since I finished that, I think I've turned it on once and then turned it right back off. Now, I never checked to see how much energy it used, but I figured, well, why keep it unplugged, or why keep it plugged in if I'm not going to use it all the time? Same with the shredder. I had the shredder turned off, but plugged in, and so I've unplugged that. And I'm sure, it might be a very, very tiny amount of kilowatt hours, but it all adds up. The last thing was, when I'm using my slow cooker quite a bit instead of cooking on the stove, and I'm pretty sure that is where that small amount of kilowatt usage has come off of my electric bill from the week before, because I just started paying attention to that in the last week or so. Started using my slow cooker to heat things up, and instead of putting them on the stove and heating them up when I'm ready to eat, or when I'm ready, to make my dinners. So yeah, at some point I may check the kilowatt hours and let you know if the slow cooker, what the slow cooker uses over a 4-hour period, and we'll see what that adds up to. But that's it for now. Now that the weather is warmer, I can turn off the furnace at night. I have a boiler attached to the furnace, so I can't have hot water if the furnace is turned off, but I can certainly turn it off at night when I'm not needing hot water. And then we'll keep going. And I am so excited to hear from all of you and see what kinds of things you do to save your 47 cents. And please let us know in the comments, because somebody out there might be able to take what you do and apply it to their own home and their own situation and save a little bit of money. We don't have any control over so many things that are happening right now, and prices are definitely going up, and we don't know what the outcome is going to be, but we are in control of what we do in our home. And that means checking those things and not spending, not letting the man have your 47 cents if you can keep it in your pocket, and help each other out. Borrow things if you need things, share things, and keep your money in your pocket unless it's absolutely necessary. And we will get through all of this together. Please let me know your tips in the comments, and like, share, and subscribe. Share with other people if you like what you see here, unedited, unscripted. So we're over 400 subscribers, people, and we've got a number of hours to go before we hit the watch hours, but we are on our way. So help me out. If you think somebody can make use of these videos, let them know. And I am so grateful that all of you are here. I really am. Let's get through all of this together. And I'll see you in the next video.